Today the rider Sandy Welsh and the horse Sunny are meeting for the first time, and they're trying to develop a steady trot with a consistent cadence that is balanced. Here they are warming up in big loose circles and getting to know one another. It is important for the rider to understand what the horse expects and for the horse to develop the respect for the rider. While they warm up, I don't give any instructions because it's important for them to create a small bond before I start changing anything that the rider is doing. Here you can see that Sandy's back is very stiff because she is not posting to the trot. As I remind her to post, you can see as she goes up and down that her back is still stiff, and the way she can fix this is by pushing her heels down towards the ground. As she comes back towards the wall, I remind her of this, and I also remind her that she can check her own position in the mirrors as she goes by, so she can fix her position without me having to remind her, thus learning more about where she needs to be in the saddle. As Sandy and Sunny come back across the middle, you can see that the trot's cadence is consistent and steady, and Sunny's nose is perpendicular to the ground, which is where it needs to be. Sandy's hands are very smooth and not jerking on the reins too much, and you can see her checking her own position in the mirror, which is what I have asked her to do. Her heels still slip up, and her back is still a little stiff, but I'm waiting for her to be able to do some self-correcting before I remind her of what she needs to do or find an alternative way to explain to her what to do. As Sandy goes through this next corner, you can see that Sunny's trot has picked up in speed. To fix this, I tell her to do a trot to walk to stop transition, which she does very effectively, and it fixes the problem. Here, Sunny's neck is overbent to the inside, and his butt is also to the inside, which puts too much curve. To fix this, I tell Sandy to use her inside leg and heel to push his butt to the outside and to loosen her inside rein while applying a small amount of pressure on her outside rein. You can see as she comes toward me that now Sunny is straight with his head down and he is not over curved toward the middle. The trot here is very, very good. Sandy's posting is good. She has self-corrected her heel and back, and Sunny's head is perpendicular to the ground as it should be, and he is not overbent. You can also see that Sunny is licking and chewing, which means he is working the bit in his mouth, which means that he is happy and content with what is happening, and he understands what is being asked of him. As riding horses is a team event where the team is the horse and the rider, both parties need to be happy and understanding, and this is happening very well for Sunny and Sandy. Here I have asked Sandy to slow his cadence, and as you can see, Sunny's cadence at the trot is much slower, and he is picking up his knees higher and throwing his hooves farther out. So he's taking the same strides, but his whole step in itself is slower. You can see Sandy continue to check herself in the mirrors, which is helping her a lot to keep her heels down and make sure her back isn't stiff. Her posting is steady, which is what it needs to be, and she is very good at keeping Sunny's nose perpendicular to the ground. You can see that when Sandy does a sitting trot, it looks very bouncy and Sunny looks uncomfortable. This is a sign that the sitting trot is not comfortable for Sunny because he has stiffness in his back. So as Sandy goes back up into the posting trot, it is much smoother and Sunny looks much happier. She has continued to keep the slower cadence of the trot, and she has made sure that he does not pick up his pace unwantingly. So Sunny and Sandy have done very well today at achieving the goal of keeping a slow, steady trot that is balanced, and they have generated the bond that they need to continue to work together. Because they have done so well at this, it will be time to move on to the next thing during our next lesson.